Hey friends, Cinema Recapped here. Today I will explain to you a 2021 romance drama movie named My Secret Billionaire. The movie starts with a man called Ferro Olivetti, a victorious businessman from a rich family. He lives a life full of wealth and is surrounded by beautiful and sexy women excited by his good looks and abundant wealth. When Ferro was attending a lavish bourgeois party in California, he received a call from his mother saying him that his dad was seriously ill and asked him to return to Italy for his father's sake. Learning the news, he rushed to the airport and instantly headed to Italy using his private jet. On the way to Italy, Ferro recalled his memories with his dad when he was a child. Ferro and his dad have a reasonably close relationship. His father advised him to always be a humble person, full of compassion, and always care for others. No matter whether he has a lot of money, because the most important thing in this world is kindness, not riches. Coming at his parents' residence, Ferro instantly met his dad, who was lying weakly on his bed. His mother told him that his dad would not be able to survive much longer due to his critical condition. At the climax of his life, the dad made a last wish to Ferro, in which he wanted him to live a simple life with mediocre money and not use his big name for 30 days. His father gradually asked him for this to feel how difficult it was when he didn't have cash so that he could learn to respect other people. Although it seems a little objectionable to the request, Ferro supposed to fulfill his father's last request before his father breathed his last. He looked so sad and overwhelmed when his father died. However, after his father's funeral, Ferro rushed back to California to make his father's last wish. Coming at the office, Ferro then told his assistant, a man named Lawrence, that he would go and live in New York for 30 days to fulfill his father's last wish to be poor. Lawrence peeped surprised when he heard that and was about to prevent Ferro from leaving because of the sheer amount of work they had to finish. Nonetheless, Lawrence then understood how important Ferro's father's last request was. So Lawrence was eventually unable to prevent Ferro's departure. Before leaving, Ferro asked Lawrence to take care of his company and traded identities with his driver, Claude Reno. Ferro ended up going to New York on a commercial plane, where he met a very annoying man named Stuart Curtis. It was so embarrassing for being so rude. A flight attendant who couldn't stand being treated like a waitress replied to Curtis's treatment, making Ferro and the other passengers laugh. Coming in New York City, Ferro now has to start a new life as a poor man who doesn't have enough money to take a bus or taxi, so he must find a ride to travel. Being in the bustling city center, he began questioning every shop there, asking if they had any job openings. However, upon seeing Ferro's impression, they were reluctant to hire him for one reason or another. That day, his efforts to get a job were hopeless. In the evening, Ferro came to a bar and met a beautiful woman enthusiastic in him. But after knowing that Ferro was just a poor person, she then left him. Not long after, a fat woman named Peta approached Ferro and asked him to get notified. To disguise his identity, Ferro introduces himself as Claude to Peta. Knowing that Ferro needed a place to spend the night, Peta, who seemed enthusiastic in him, then invited him to stay at her house. Ferro accepted Peta's invitation without realizing that Peta actually wanted to ask him to make love to her. Arriving at Peta's house and after knowing her intentions, Ferro instantly rejected her and lied by saying that he was gay. An irritated Peta then told him to sleep on the floor. Unable to stand the noise of Peta's loud snoring, Ferro rushed to another room and found a woman sleeping there. The woman was Diana, Peta's close friend who was staying there. Diana understood Ferro's presence there and then woke up and shouted angrily at him, then kicked him out of Peta's house. After being expelled from Peta's house, Ferro had to return to the streets of New York in the middle of a cold darkness. Unfortunately, he even met two delinquent men who tried to rob him. Ferro then fought and organized to escape from them. When Ferro was hiding from the pursuit of the thugs, he was caught by one of the residents, who blamed him of being a robber and then reported it to the police. Ferro was then arrested and thrown into prison, even though he had clarified that he was not a robber. He had to languish in prison on his first night as a poor man, when Pharaoh seemed to want to give up because he couldn't stand being in prison. The police published him because he was finally proven innocent. In the morning, Pharaoh, who was very hungry because he had not eaten any food since yesterday, decided to buy hot dogs. But since he only had 50 cents left, he couldn't even pay for the hot dog. The men selling hot dogs, who felt sorry for seeing Pharaoh, who was hungry, gave the hot dogs for free. Pharaoh looked pleased and very grateful to the hot dog seller. He asked the man's name and promised that he would repay the man's kindness. But the man called Angelo didn't seem too concerned about it and helped Pharaoh selflessly. When Pharaoh was about to take a newspaper in the trash, a homeless man also appeared to want to take the newspaper. So Pharaoh then gave the last 50 cents to the man, and he got the newspaper. While concentrating on reading the newspaper, Pharaoh was accidentally hit by a delivery truck. Fred, the truck driver, got out of the truck and helped Pharaoh to his feet. Fred then confessed to him and asked how he was. Pharaoh then told Fred that he needed a job and a place to stay. Listening this, Fred then informed him about one of his customers who needed a driver and was willing to take Pharaoh there to meet the customer. Pharaoh was pleased and immediately accepted the offer. When Pharaoh got there, he was shocked that the prospective employer who would hire him was Curtis, the annoying man he met on the plane. Curtis is a fairly successful real estate entrepreneur, but he is very arrogant and rude and always looks down on others. After conducting a short interview session, Curtis eventually accepted Pharaoh to work as his personal driver. But on one condition, Pharaoh had to be willing to do whatever Curtis told him to do. That identical day, Pharaoh was asked to go straight to work, where he was ordered to be a waiter at a party held by Curtis at his house. While cleaning the table, Pharaoh saw a television broadcast that reported that his corporation, namely Pharaoh Olivetti Enterprise, had won a multi-million-dollar project and defeated a rival company. Knowing this, Pharaoh then named Lawrence and asked him to give every employee in his company a bonus worth $5,000. Frankly, this surprised Lawrence because Pharaoh was previously known as a person who never cared about the welfare of his employees. But now, when Pharaoh has felt how impossible life is when he doesn't have money, he has become empathetic with his employees. When Pharaoh entered his room to rest, he was surprised by the impression of Curtis' wife, Kat, who was already waiting for him there. Kat tried to seduce Pharaoh, but he tried to resist. Subsequently, there was a knock on the door, and Pharaoh asked Kat to hide under the bed. When he opened the door, Pharaoh was surprised to see the coming of Curtis' daughter, Nancy, who also wanted to seduce him. It didn't stop there. Pharaoh was even dizzier when Curtis came to his room, so he asked Nancy to hide in the bathroom. Like his wife and daughter, Curtis also came there to seduce him because the man turned out to be bisexual and was fascinated by Pharaoh's good looks. Nonetheless, Pharaoh rejected Curtis by lying that he had a sexually transmitted disease. So Curtis was disgusted and left there. Likewise with the others. When Pharaoh drove Curtis to his office, he accidentally met Diana again, who turned out to be an employee at Curtis' company. Diana still seems to have understood Pharaoh since the incident at Peter's house, so she hastened away when she saw Pharaoh, even though he tried to explain what happened that night. The following day, Pharaoh sent Diana a bouquet of flowers as an apology, but he didn't write his name. Diana also wondered who had sent the flowers to her. Curtis then asked Diana to take his bag left at the office to his home. Coming at Curtis' house and handing over his bag, Diana was told to go home, and Pharaoh was ordered to take her home. Pharaoh then apologizes to Diana for what transpired at Peter's house and explains everything. Pharaoh then informed her that he was the one who sent the flowers to her as a sign of apology. Pharaoh and Diana then engaged in casual conversation. After that, they eventually became closer to each other, and they often spent time together drinking coffee while talking about many things about their lives. Pharaoh ultimately learns that Diana was married once, but now she has become a widow after her husband, who was a soldier, died in the war 9 years ago. Pharaoh seems to have been so enchanted by Diana's kind and autonomous personality. On the other hand, Diana then seems interested in the handsome and mysterious Pharaoh. A few days later, Nancy came to her father's office, where the girl spread slander by indicting Pharaoh of trying to harass her. Frankly, Pharaoh denied this, but Curtis didn't care and cursed at Pharaoh before finally firing him. Hearing Curtis cursing at Pharaoh, Diana then strived to defend Pharaoh. But in the end, she was also fired by Curtis, because Pharaoh no longer works for Curtis and has no place to live. Diana then offers him to live at her house with her parents. Diana then invited Pharaoh to have dinner at home with her parents, where she then conveyed her desire to ask him to live with them. Hearing this, Diana's parents disagreed because they thought Pharaoh was just an unoccupied man who couldn't make their beloved daughter happy. Because Diana had already fallen in love with Pharaoh, she persuaded her parents to allow him to live with them. Her parents eventually melted and obeyed her daughter's wishes. Day by day, the relationship between Pharaoh and Diana is getting closer and closer. Not just lovers, Pharaoh and Diana are then business partners. They later set up an agency company using Diana's savings as initial capital and Pharaoh's knowledge, which claims to have learned about business. 2 weeks have passed since then. The small corporation built by Diana and Pharaoh is starting to show outstanding progress, both of which are then increasingly optimistic about good prospects in the future. One day, Pharaoh fulfilled a call from Lawrence telling him that he had to come to a trial because the future of Pharaoh's company was threatened by their rival company, which demanded that Pharaoh had committed fake by disguising his identity. It turned out that their rival company had thumped into Lawrence's office phone, so they found out about Pharaoh's disguise as Claude. To save his company, Pharaoh hurried to California to attend a trial that was still won by Pharaoh Olivetti Enterprise. After finishing his business in California, Pharaoh returned to New York and met Diana, who appeared irritated because Pharaoh always acted mysteriously and kept secrets from her. Diana was even more furious when Kat, Curtis' wife, came to Pharaoh's office and instantly fondled him before Diana, even though Pharaoh had denied that he had a relationship with Kat. Diana, who felt angry and unhappy, then rushed to leave. Pharaoh chased after her, trying to explain everything, but Diana was fed up and didn't want to hear from him anymore. A week had passed since that incident, coinciding with the 30th day that Pharaoh had spent as a poor man, and he had accomplished in carrying out his father's last will. Nonetheless, Pharaoh thought instead of Diana, the only woman who could make him fall in love so much. Pharaoh frequently called Diana, but her mother always picked up and asked him not to bother Diana anymore because she didn't want her only daughter to feel dissatisfied and live a life of suffering because Diana loved him. Pharaoh then called his mother and told him about Diana. Pharaoh's mother then advised him to fight for his love if he loved her. The following day, Pharaoh went to Diana's house to meet her. Suddenly, it turned out that Diana had been waiting for a call from him, but her mother always ignored calls from him and never told her about it. Diana was angry with her mother for getting into their relationship. Pharaoh and Diana eventually made up and returned to being a happy couple. The scene then switches and shows Fred coming to Curtis' house to ask where Pharaoh is. Fred then told Curtis and his family that Claude, who had worked as Curtis' personal driver, was Pharaoh Olivetti, a billionaire who had given Fred a check for $50,000 for his compassion. Pharaoh then takes Diana to California and reveals his identity as Pharaoh Olivetti, a wealthy man who has fallen in love with Diana, a simple but outstanding woman. Pharaoh then introduced Diana to his mother and proposed to her, and Diana accepted Pharaoh's proposal. Pharaoh and Diana's marriage looked so grand and festive and was attended by many people, comprising people who had helped Pharaoh selflessly when he was an underprivileged man in New York. And the end. If you are a lover of similar content like this, take a look at my various videos, and if you love it, please burst the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel and smash the notification horn. Take sight of you in the next video.